Here we are for round 1 of week 5. We're on the draw, got 3 lands, can't cast a single spell in our hand, but I am not one to mulligan. All I need to do is hit a couple lands, and I'll probably not be dead, hopefully. A couple 4-drops aren't the worst in the world if I can hit a land. And it looks like I do. Maybe I was on the play? What do I have more lands? And Touch of the Void goes my 2-3. Ooh, drawing a swamp was right on time. Okay, they're playing 2-1s, I'm playing 4-5s. I like my position at this point. I'll just start curving out. Ooh, Saddleback hit me for 4. That's fine. I'm actually going to be able to bounce that with my Banisher. Crunch in for 7. And set back their token. And have a 3-3 in play. It's pretty good. So now I get to just play another flyer, which gives my Night Watch flying. So I get to hit for 7 in the air, and they are forced to trade 3-1s and 3-3s. And they scoop. So that was pretty quick. Game 1. So here we are. So Tikimunkee chose to play first. We're on the draw this time. Again, this hand's a little slow, but we got our mana. Hopefully we don't die in the early game. Pilgrim's Eye is a really good draw because that'll find us a swamp for this Tar Snare. Ooh, Snapping Gnarly. That's one of the best 2-drops that you can probably have on turn 2. And so we're going to be taking some damages. Yep. So didn't draw anything other than this Pilgrim's Eye into Tar Snare. I guess Courier Griffin next turn. Yeah, my choice here is Courier Griffin or Tar Snare, and I'm already really behind. And so I think the best play here is, again, if I play Courier Griffin, then he's just going to bash me again for 3. So I think I'd just rather just try to Tar Snare the guy immediately, especially if he has a pump spell. Or she has a pump spell, so she'd be able to get rid of it without me taking damage from it. Of course, Skyfisher, replay the Spider. Pseudo Vigilance. Okay, so I have my 5th land here. So here, I actually don't really like my play. I remember this play. I figure the least amount of damage I would take is 2. So I play the Courier Griffin. And I'm planning on they just attack with both creatures. I can double block and kill the core Skyfisher, so they need something to be able to attack. And it turns out they have that something. They have +1/+1 to all their creatures. So now I get ranched for 6. So if I would have just tapped out and played Colossal Night Watch, I'd only be taking 3. Because I could block the Netcaster Spider. So here's a tough spot. Because I can't deal with this 5/5 with anything in my hand other than the sheer drop, but it needs to attack me next turn. So I almost need to chump block it for a turn, but I also need to be able to not die to his board. So the plan is just to play the 4/5 out now and see if I can just live for a turn. This doesn't look very good for me. Pro white, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Only 2 cards in hand, so I want to make all the obvious blocks. I don't want to take any damage. Flyer on flyer. Okay, so she's got the Gideon's Reproach. That's expected, but at least I didn't take damage by blocking. And the Might of the Masses equals Giant Growth, which turns that into a 5/6 to kill my 4/5, which is perfect. So not the best situation. They're out of cards in hand, but I am staring down a lot of damage here. Alright, so my play should work out, though. I planned on sheer dropping and leaving a 3-3 untapped. So that's a pretty good 2-for-1. I'm going to get hit down for 2, go to 4, and they don't play anything. Okay, so land is not what I'm trying to draw right now. I'm trying to draw gas. So I decide to attack first because I want to have some blockers back. I'm going to make the flyer useless, so I keep my life total as high as possible. Especially important if they have red in their deck. They could burn me out with Touch of the Void or something. So I'm going to play my land. I think I'm going to just bash. I don't bash with the 3-3 because she could double block with the 2-3 and 2-2. And that would be a bad trade for me. I'd rather just be able to block. Incubator Drone is in the main deck in my earlier iterations just because I didn't realize that there's better cards out there. So this time I attack with both. Don't mind if they do the double block because it frees up more attacks for me next turn with my 2-3. So I got this life total caught up race-wise. Growth Spasm. Okay. So here I make this attack. They finally start the chump blocks. Then I figure I might as well just play out my Banisher as just a 5-mana 3-3. No need to bounce anything. Touch of the Void kills my Ondu Greathorn. So yeah, so see, that's pretty crazy. They had this Touch of the Void in hand and just I stabilized it 4, so I was probably close to dying if I would have let them hit with this Kai Fisher one more time. So I didn't even know how close to dead I actually was. But here I get to attack with everything because I still have a Vigilant guy. And I'm coming at her for lethal. And that's game. 1-0. If I win out, I think I have a chance at coming in first place in the league or maybe second place. I don't know, but I gotta win out. Alright, stay tuned for round 2.